Just a reminder before we start the video, the audio in this video is a little bit scuffed, so if you could, please be careful with your volume. Anyway, let's get to the video. What up YouTube? Plant here, and today we're going to talk about Stray. Now, Stray is one of those games that I've been looking forward to playing for the last month, 2 months, ever since it was announced as a PlayStation Plus premium game. At least I think it is. It might either be premium or the tier below it. I can't remember the name of the tier. But anyway, let's talk about Stray. So it's a cat game. It's a game about cats, and they jump around and do stuff and do cat things. I mean, well, what's not to love about that? It's honestly like a really interesting game, because I thought that the way it was going to work was that it was more of a platformer kind of thing. But no, it seems to hold your hand, but in a way that kind of doesn't hurt you. It makes you follow along for the story. And I love how it leads you in the direction that it wants you to go, but it does it in a way that's not very obvious. For instance, in the first level, first scene rather, it's not very obvious what you have to do. I thought you had to jump down from the ledge you were on, but no, you actually have to go to sleep. Little things like that where it doesn't tell you how to play it, it doesn't give you an arrow telling you where to go or, you know, what to do. That's really refreshing, because I feel like a lot of games nowadays really hold your hand, and it's to the point where it kind of takes the fun out of it. I mean, I remember when I was a kid and we had the PS2, and a lot of PS2 games, they just didn't hold your hand. You know, typically when you got an objective, they would tell you once, and then from then on, it was like, oh, well, if you don't know what to do, you're shit out of luck, basically. And so back then, a lot of people looked up guides. I just think it's a really refreshing game to play. It's a very short game from what I've heard. I haven't beaten it yet, but it is a game that I'm really looking forward to completing, because I am one of the few cat people on this planet, because I had a cat when I was a kid, and I don't know, I've just always found myself to be more into cats in terms of like personality and stuff. I feel like we get along. I find dogs to be a little bit too hyper for my taste, but that's just me. And so I feel like I have a bit of a personal connection to this game, and not in the sense of the game itself, but in the subject matter of the game. I just find it really exciting. We're living in a time where we're getting games of this caliber for essentially free on PlayStation, and I was surprised to learn that it wasn't a full-priced game on Steam. Stray is $30, which, to be honest, I feel like that is a little bit much. I wish it was around the $15 mark, or maybe $20 mark. Do I think it's a good product? I mean, if you look at the gameplay, it's very polished. It might not be what we expected it to be mechanically, but it's still a really interesting game. It's still a really refreshing take on what a video game is. But I feel like a lot of games hold your hand, and I really don't like that. And Stray seems to do the exact opposite, at least for the portion of the game that I've played so far, which is admittedly probably 2 or 3 levels into it. So again, I can't really say whether it changes later in the game, but I wanted to give my opinion now so I could avoid spoilers and things like that, because I find that when you play through a game, it's harder to hide spoilers because you're so excited when you talk about it, and it's so like new in your mind. And I feel like if I make these kinds of videos while I'm playing the game, I'm less likely to divulge spoilers or anything like that. So it's just for my own benefit. I just wanted to talk about Stray because it's been popping off on Twitter and Twitch lately, and I think it's a really cool game. This is a good step for gaming going forward. I do wish the game cost a little less, but that's just my opinion. And that's only because of the game length. If it was longer, sure, I would justify the $30. But from what I've heard, it's just a short little experience, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know, some games get to be long, some games get to be short. And if you're over there complaining about the length, I mean, I feel like, you know, go play something else. Like, why waste your time complaining about a game that you don't like? I never understood that. There's so many games out there to play that why spend your time ragging on one game when you could just pick up Elden Ring or something where you're gonna get 80 plus hours of gameplay. I know that the game wasn't what people wanted exactly, but at the same time, I really feel like a lot of people like it. So I just wanted to get my thoughts out there because it's a relatively new thing, and I just wanted to get in on the hype because it's fun. You know, I've watched a few streamers play through it a little bit. I've tried to avoid spoilers, but it looks like a fun game, and I love how the community is just kind of gathering around this cat game, and it's kind of bringing out the cat person in all of us, basically. Anyway, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe, be sure to hit that like button, and as always, I'll see you around. Bye-bye.